Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on a single page layout about my grandson when he was sick last year. And actually this video was filmed quite a while ago, um, not quite a year ago, but I am just getting through a few of these things that I had filmed and getting them voiced and getting them out there for you guys to see. And this is probably, I think, the last one that I have from way back. So I am finally caught up and I'm really happy about that. So I had this sheet of paper from Chamel and I only had one sheet of it at the time. So I really wanted to make this layout work with both sides of the paper, and I really like how the blue and the yellow go together. So I just cut it diagonally across, and then I trimmed it down because, as you can see, there's a little white border there. So I needed to trim it down just a tad so that the corners still met up and still allowed for the white border on the outside. Now I am backing my photo with white cardstock, and in the photo it's my daughter holding my grandson at the emergency room last year. He was a pretty sick little guy at the time. I think he had pneumonia and RSV at the same time, and I'm not sure how they differentiate between the two, but I know they did x-rays and all kinds of stuff. But he was a pretty sick little guy, and the crazy thing is he gets sick like that and it's like he goes from nothing to horribly sick. So it's not like he has a lot of symptoms in advance, and it's a little bit scary for her. So I went and hung out at the emergency room with her to be there to support them, and I ended up taking a picture of him because he just looked, I don't know, it's just a special photo of him and her together and just her nurturing him. So I had that border strip that I wanted to use, but I only had one of those, and so in order to stretch it I cut it into pieces so that I could back my photo. I am going to change that around quite a bit. I played with it several times trying to figure out what I want to do because I know I need some of it at the top, but then I'm going to layer things on the sides, so things are going to change quite a bit. And then I had that doily, so I wanted the doily underneath the photo, and then I thought I would use this yellow strip around the photo as well, but I don't end up using it around the photo. That's a piece of washi from, I want to say it's from the Go Now Go collection, so it's pretty old, but I go ahead and put it down on the white paper and then use it because that makes the yellow show up really well. They are somewhat transparent, and so, I mean, they're not completely transparent, but they do they do have a bit of transparency to them. So if there's color underneath, it will show through to some extent. But by adding the white paper underneath, you don't see that paper that it's going on top of, and it maintains its yellow color, which is exactly what I wanted. I do love working with Chamel's collections all together because the colors may not be an exact they may not be an exact tonal match, but this I'm not exactly even sure how to describe it. They match, so you might have a darker color of yellow and a lighter color of yellow, but they are the same tone of yellow. So the saturation level is different, is what I'm trying to say. So they do match. And so there's pieces there from Head in the Clouds, I think. No, maybe Box of Crayons. And then there's pieces from Little by Little, and then the piece from Go Now Go. So you can definitely mix and match a lot of things in her collections. So this is what I finally came up with. As you can see, I changed that border strip all around, and I like how it looks a lot better now. And then with that journaling piece there, my daughter can go in and write a little bit about the experience, and that's exactly what happens. I do the layouts, and then for the most part she writes on them. Sometimes if I happen to be there at whatever's going on when the photo was taken and I have a story that I want to tell, then I will go ahead and do the journaling, but in large part she does the journaling herself, and that works really well for us because then we get to capture mom's notes as well. So I think that's important for the future and for him to be able to have his mommy's notes written down when he's older. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch that piece of washi tape up at the top by cutting it and just having it peek out from each side, and that way it doesn't have to span underneath the sticker that's going over it. And I like that it brings that yellow up into that area. And I definitely am working on a diagonal design today because my title is going to follow that diagonal line as well. And you can see I've pulled in some stars, and I've pulled in that little piece that says adore, and I just really like the way it's coming together, and I like these soft colors for this particular layout. That little piece is from Sparkle City, so there's definitely a lot of different collections represented on this particular layout, which I think is really fun. I am not going to show you any journaling, like I said, but I don't even know if I stamped the date on this, so I need to go back and check that out. So I'm just adding some final touches of labels and stickers, and I like tucking them in and having them just have a lot of detail, but in little amounts, like little tiny pieces. And that little white label that I brought down to the lower right hand corner, I think that looks really good there because I've got some white up at the top, and then I've got white just above the journaling spot in the form of that doily. So bringing the white all the way down on the diagonal, it looks really good. So there's a lot of continuity between all of the embellishment areas. And then my title is going to be Sick Little Guy, and I'm going to move it over towards the right just a tad underneath that embellishment area. I do have this chipboard sticker that says Little, and it is not from one of the Chamel collections. I'm not exactly sure what the collection name is that came from, and it is from like a thicker pack type thing of chipboard sayings for babies. So I know it's American Crafts, but I can't tell you more than that at this point in time. If it's something that you're interested in knowing, I can definitely look that up for you. I just don't have it with me while I'm doing this voiceover. So I do like that it brings in more of that blue color, and I do like the tone on tone of the blue, so I think that's really a nice look. And I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want the title, and I'm trying to line up the letters there, playing with it, trying to figure it out. It wasn't the easiest or most obvious place for me to put it, but this is actually where I end up sticking it here. And I do love using my tweezers for that because it allows me to be able to see what I'm doing and get things lined up. Oftentimes my fingers get in the way and I can't really see if I'm getting things in line as I want them. And then I'm going to add some of these navy blue stars around, and I like how those look as well. Again, those are from Sparkle City. And then that chipboard piece that is above the photo that looks kind of like a cloud, that is also from that same piece, or that same thicker chipboard collection that says Little on it. And then the other piece says I love you more than all the stars, and then the puffy sticker says when it rains it pours, and I thought that was appropriate for this particular scenario. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to put the final details down, and then the close-ups will be along in just a few moments. If you don't mind hitting like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye.